welcome to another episode of Girls Glasses God Podcast. Woo!
I was going to say let's start on a different note.
So I think, before I would say welcome to the first episode, but now that we have reached 10, I can't be counting anymore. I say welcome to the 10th.
This is the 10th episode actually.
Yay! Number 10. Oh God, we are doing this thing,
right? Right. Slow and steady.
Number 10. Oh my God.
Slow and steady. Wow. I mean, you have 10 episodes to listen to. Like, you should
I know,
be excited.
right?
Like,
you should be.
That's
and it's
a lot
not.
of work.
I think 10 is. I mean, 10 is still starting, so you still have time to listen to all the episodes
and catch up.
Yeah, so far.
I'm still in season 1. By the time we're in
As
season 6 now,
you'll not be like by that time. So don't snooze on this. Hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome. And welcome if you're just coming for the first time.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. So thank you for all the love so far. In the last episode, we announced that people should shout out to their friends so that we can continue the friendship series in the next episode.
Shout out to your enemies.
I mean,
Shout out
if
for
you want to,
yeah.
if you want to shout out to your enemies too, well, that's fine. That works. But yeah,
my haters must know that I've blown.
So let's continue to shout out. If you haven't sent a DM yet, send us a DM. From the next episode, we continue the friendship series in the next episode. So
what about people that don't know what we're talking about, who are just tuning in for the first time?
Yeah. So I think in the last actually not the last one, but the last one before the last one. 2 episodes ago.
Okay.
3 episodes ago, we started talking about friendship. And then we thought
the month of March.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the month of March and April.
Yeah,
but went on a break.
Yeah, slight break.
So we wanted to make it special. Like we wanted to include everybody in this, especially because what we're talking about involves friendship and building relationships.
Different kinds of levels.
Yeah. So we want, if you want to, we want you to send us an email, girlsglassesgodpod@gmail.com, or DM us. And we also have all our social media pages on our on Instagram. So just search Girls Glasses God Pod on Instagram and follow us. You see all the details there. So yeah, send us a DM, an email.
And if you're even wondering what to send, somebody that you want to appreciate for being a good friend to you.
Yeah.
Or even just appreciate familiar relationships.
Yeah.
You might have your sisters, your brother, your parents.
I was going to say family too.
So your aunts, your uncles,
Yeah.
your nephews, your nieces, your cousins. Anybody that you just want to appreciate, that you think that they've done something special, even for just being in your life.
Yeah.
You should definitely shout out to them. And we are the perfect platform for you to do that.
I know, right?
So you have a plan, we have a platform. We can do this.
Wait, you have a plan, we have a platform. So yeah, we'll be expecting that, and then we'll start reading out some of these things from the next episode. By the way, we have decided to be consistent in how we release our episodes. So from now on, we are releasing bi-weekly, every other Thursday. Other Thursday. So that way we are consistent. And then if anything changes, we'll let you guys know. We'll let you know if anything changes for us to upload weekly. We'll let you know. But from now, we'll be uploading
if there are, special episodes. We might upload during some particular seasons.
Yeah,
or
bonus episodes. Yeah. But for now, at least for consistency's sake, let's stick to every other Thursday. So every other Thursday,
expect new
that
episode to
be
drop
out.
Woo!
Well, yeah. What have you been up to?
Oh yeah, you're asking what have you been up to? But I feel like we spent this last weekend in the same space.
Actually,
so we had a program that we organized, and this right here was our host. Just as she's the host of this podcast, she was the host of our event.
What can I say?
And she did a really good job. But it's a program that we've been working towards, I think, even from last year. So, and I'm just really excited that it was an amazing event. People enjoyed themselves. But that was on Friday. Ebun hosted the event. We had a panel discussion from some alumni who are making waves in their different spaces, and they were dropping bars. Ebun.
I actually took notes. I actually did take notes.
I was just there and I was like, what? The things I was hearing, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know if I feel like a lot of times when you are the one coordinating something, and I think I experienced it the last time I did the cultural night. When I'm the one that is organizing something, I don't I'm not
sit down
present
to experience,
it.
Yeah,
because I'm like, oh, how is this going? How is this going? So I was expecting the same thing to happen. So if you notice, I was at the back for most of this thing because the guy was not even switching the slide at the same time. I was telling him. So I think after a while he got the hang of it. So I could now come to the front and I sat down for the panel discussion and we were just dropping gems. I was like,
it was really amazing. It's the Blacks in Business gala that started last year. It started 2 years ago actually. But then we used a very good space last year, and then I'm happy that it was even bigger and better this year. Hopefully it even gets bigger and then we can go over the 80-person limit hopefully next year. So
and even like excuse me, like we were literally like right on the mark.
Yeah. Okay. At 80 people. Yeah.
80 people.
Which is really great.
We're
Really
on the
great.
mark at 80 people.
So hopefully next year, we're about to do that. But yeah, that was amazing.
So after
it was
that,
great hosting.
Yeah.
Like I was telling somebody that I didn't really even snap a lot of pictures, and then some people actually sent me like my pictures when I was hosting. I was like, oh, this is so cool.
That's true.
Like I was like, I saw people bringing out their phones to take it. I'm like, what can I say? Even one of the panelists, brother, was just taking pictures. I'm like, oh my, I mean, what can I say?
It's a really great experience because even I remember the guy that we brought in as a poet. I think after I was done, I texted him and I was like, oh, thank you so much for sharing like your piece with us and sharing like your dreams and everything. And he was like, no, thank you, because this opportunity you've given, because I think he met, and the fact that he was like, he's doing his PhD in like astrophysics. Everybody was like,
when I was reading the profile, everybody was like, I was like, that's big, like whatever. So anyway, even the two poets actually, because I know the other people they kept referring to him like, oh, according to what person said, I was like, that's actually the success of what anybody can have. Like if people can remember what you said and if you can resonate with people. So
so after that, I think we had a really long day.
As in, like this weekend has actually been back to back. It has been back to back.
A really long day because even in the morning, you were at work in the morning. In the morning, I volunteer on Fridays to read books to like second and third graders. So after I was done, I had to like, I was still thinking about, is this slide okay? We're still doing some final touches and all of that. Then I traveled from Athens to Atlanta. And then we had the event. Then after we were done with the event, we were finished around like 9:30. But
we're still there to like 10.
Because we're still talking, like just meeting new people and all of that. And just making sure like taking pictures as well to like commemorate the event and all. Then after we were done with that, we had a sleepover.
Yeah, that's true. So if you guys remember on my channel, God knows I haven't posted in a long time, but whatever I have a YouTube channel. If you don't know, go and watch all my videos. Anyway, I posted on my channel about how one of my friends proposed to his girlfriend at that time, who is now a fiance, a bride apparently, and then so they're getting married next month. So we had her bridal shower. So it was supposed to start by I think 9, but we were still out by 9. Friday was a very, very long day for me. Like I literally stopped. I told my manager I would, come back to this thing, because I was trying to beat traffic. Apparently, I was even very elusive. So like from there, I just like did makeup.
I think the reason why they wanted you to come early was just so that
to familiarize. I get, but like I feel like I could have still like tidied up things. Like now I'm going to still work today, so it's like a very long weekend. So after that, did the whole hosting. After that, went for bridal shower. We're there till like
don't even say we went for bridal shower. Ebun did not pack her bag, so we had to go back home.
I don't understand. No, from packing bag. Will I not go and freshen up at home? How will I go straight from the event?
Straight.
No, I wanted to have my bath. I did not even plan to go straight. Like it was not even my plan. My plan was to come back because I'd already checked. It wasn't like it was so far. Like my place to the place of the event was like 15 minutes. So I'm like, okay, cool. I can always drive back, freshen up, and then pack my things.
So I think in my head I thought we're just going to, because I already knew we were going to be late. So I was like, so that's why I was telling you that I even packed some extra clothes. So if I needed to come out of my like gala gown, I would just dress into like change into something more casual. Then we drive down. But we had to go back to the house, freshened up. So we just changed from there. Then we went in like the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So
very long ride, but it was really good. It was beautiful. Like the bridal shower was beautiful.
That was really fun. I think and I like those cards. Those,
I even took some.
I knew you were going to take those cards even before I
to,
said it.
because I'm like, the next person, if you use your brush hour now, call me or come me to host it so that I can do different games. Like, I actually love the games. Like, it was very interactive.
And I like what she said about like keeping, the particular card about the advice to the bride. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I'll copy it for a number of years. Do it for you. Now I have 10 people.
Do it for yourself,
my dear. I should not so for next 20 years. Yes, now.
I'll do it for you too. I'll do like 50 people. 100 years later. You're still reading card. I beg. But yeah, it was really nice. I think one of the things, again, I think we were talking about it too, is that, see, when you have good friends, honestly, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. Like,
quality of people around.
It wasn't like we're 100 or 10 or whatever at the brother shower, but like, I love how intentional her friends are. And I mean, she's an amazing person herself, so she deserved it and more. So it was really, really beautiful. We played games, and I love the fact that people that were not even abroad, because the wedding is in Nigeria, so people that are not in the United States sent videos, even her parents. It was very emotional. I was like, oh, this is so cool.
I think when you put some thoughts, like when you put any thoughts into
things like even the little things, like, it just shows up. And I think another thing I liked about it was like, okay, so they asked the bride things about the groom and vice versa. Then they now got answers from the groom. But normally when they do it, the groom will just write out the answers. But this one, the groom made a video of the answers. I was like, that's actually really cute. So yeah,
and something that they can look back on and be like, so if you're making like a wedding video,
they can collage all these things together.
So I think one thing I like about how technology is helping things is that, if it was back then now, you might end up doing your wedding without half of your friends or family. But this way, people don't miss out on some like major events that are happening, right? So it was a really wonderful experience. I think I really enjoyed it. And after that, we didn't sleep until like 3. Yeah. Like 3 a.m. And then we went to bed. We woke up the next morning. That was on a Saturday. And we had like brunch at like one really cute place. Even though I didn't like the food. I don't know. I don't think they put spices in that.
I feel like when people overhype things, I think that's the beginning of
the problems.
Yeah. So when it was the we make everything from the scratch kind of story, I was there expecting homemade meal. But oh well. Whatever. But anyway, it was good. It was like the event itself was good. Yeah. The cake was nice. We took great pictures.
The cake was really creative.
Yeah, it was like a wedding dress, but cupcakes. It was like a wedding dress.
And I like the fact that it had like different colors
inside.
I wonder how I will still find out how they made
maybe
that.
Maybe like sprinkles or something they can add.
But it wasn't tasting. They were the sprinkles are like a little bit hard.
No. I don't mean the sprinkles. Like something that you can just sprinkle into your recipe.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Makes sense.
But anyway, I'm sure if you check YouTube,
red and I think blue, red, and green or something.
Like a lemon green.
If you can put the cake in the video, if we post the video, that would be really it was really creative. I really like people who are really creative about things like that. Like, because if you think about traditionally baking that kind of cake, you will cut. The cake will not break.
but these were cupcakes.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what's creative about. Because if you bake like a square cake and you decide to cut it, it will break. Yeah, it will break. So
yeah, but that was nice. That was amazing. And after that, we just came back and slept.
It was necessary. Because you took us like 90 minutes. If I even slept off in the car.
Wait, see this one? No, I was there driving inside traffic. I was feeling sleepy. What if I had slept off? You was beside me sleeping.
At least I was away for like the first 45 minutes. I want to believe. But after that,
we were stuck in traffic.
Give me kudos because my head was paining me throughout.
Wow. So what if my own head was paining, but I did not tell you? Like, do you actually realize?
You said open your mouth.
Because you already said your head was paining. So you want me to add my own head take it to your own head.
It's like me too.
So how will I be empathetic that way?
But yeah, it really tried because I needed that sleep. But when we go home, oh good.
We just slept. Like we didn't even bother. We just slept off. And then we woke up.
Was like in my head, dude, according to the plan, because people said he wanted to work. I thought she was still going to work. I was
still going to work on Saturday. We were supposed to go to church on Saturday so that Sunday would be free.
Okay, so that was the original plan. Was that we're going to be done. So the church was by 6. So I thought we're going to be done and be back in the house by 2 or 3. Yeah. So that you will work during that period, then we go to church. So in fact, the plans that we had for this weekend, it just went like this. Well, it's still fine.
As in, it's still fine.
It's still fine.
I was thinking we'll go to church so that we would have recorded this morning, and then I will have enough time because I still have to work. All the work that I wanted on Friday.
What I was even saying was that if we had not to church on Saturday, I thought we were still going to the balloon thing.
Oh yeah, that's
morning.
true. We're actually supposed to do that.
So we're supposed to go in the morning around 10:30, be back by 12, then start recording.
We're supposed to do that actually. I forgot.
But you said they pushed it now, so we can still always go.
Can do it later. I think they don't leave until June or so. So
that's always go.
Anyway, so that's it though. That's how our weekend is now. And we are here. We went to church. We went to church this morning. From church, we went grocery shopping. From grocery shopping, came back home. Immediately after eating, we are here recording again. Guys, please rate us 5-star wherever you're listening to.
A lot of work has gone into this.
So great content for you. So we are here. As I am like this, I'm very tired, but I'm like,
yeah. But you know the funny thing is that when you now see people, because when I think about, when you shoot videos, because I created content when I went to Portugal. I'm like, I'll do like a short clips of my Portugal trip. I recorded everything, but have I released that video?
You think it's beans when I say, I'm not releasing, So I'm see people that are doing YouTube and they have job. You are doing a great job. I have a lot of videos that I haven't put out.
Video that recommend. I think there was all these recommendations that came to me. So I just watched that video. So I think she moved to Atlanta. So she just did like a vlog of, like, she has gotten her place. She's unboxing, like setting up all those things. And the way she was giving us different angles, as she's pushing the trolley, she's giving us angle from the back.
It's not a work.
I was like,
because it's like you stop, set up, then remove, then stop, set up. You now merge all those things together to where you're editing it.
You know when you take out like all the boxes from like all the furniture and everything. Even when she went to take it to the trash, she showed us a video. I was like, girl,
yeah.
And I watched as I was watching her videos, I was liking it because I'm like,
yeah,
you put in a lot of work.
So people don't realize. So when people say, "Oh, I'm a content," people don't realize what content creation is. A job. Like it's a job on its own,
and to stay consistent, because you know what it means for you to wake up in the morning and like set up your camera.
You haven't traveled. I'm like, see, my travels since last year, I never released the finish.
Yeah.
not talk of this year. So, but anyway, here we are today. We bless the name of the Lord. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about church ethics.
Church. Let's say church.
Sunday.
As today is a Sunday.
This is only Sunday.
So a caveat, like, I mean, what we're talking about today is don't take it personal. Like, don't be. We're talking about church ethics and church behavior. How some people used to do certain things in church. Good. And then we're talking a little bit about, again, as immigrants and international students, we've been to different
churches, like Naija church, Oyinbo church.
So we are giving our view on a Naija church versus Oyinbo church. So, but yeah, let's start. So should we? Which one should we start with? Church ethics or the differences?
Let's start with the differences.
Yeah,
I think from there we'll move into like the ethics.
Yeah,
of
I think
the
we
church.
should. So, what basically
before you even start, so I think because we went to Ebun's church today, and when we closed the service, people started walking out, and I'm like, Ebun, are we not sharing the grace?
Don't mind that. The pastor prayed for everybody, and then after the pastor prayed, that was it. So they say, we don't go share grace. As by Naija church, if you have not said, may the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, you never finish church.
But something that makes me think about again is the fact that I feel like sometimes, especially when because I knew that we're doing this topic today, and I was also in church, like I was listening to everything, but I was also thinking about some things, and sometimes I wonder if, in a way, we don't become routine, kind of.
Oh, we do now.
Routine, because sometimes, when we're even in church and the pastor was saying some things, I was imagining if it was in a Naija church, and how I knew at certain point he would just hear somebody say, "Hey, this like that." Like, I was like, "Where is this sound?" Like, so at that point, it's like, are you just saying it to say it, or are you saying it because you're actually feeling it, right?
Yeah.
So that's just what I wanted to mention. But
the caveat is, so I mean, obviously in Nigeria, everybody is going to Naija church too. But when I got here in Athens, I was attending a Nigerian church in Redeem, awesome church, great community.
Definitely.
If you're in Athens, check it out. Redeem Christian Church of God, amazing grace.
Amazing grace family.
But when I got
shout out to you guys.
When I got to Atlanta, I started attending another church, which is typically not a Nigerian church. It's a diverse church. White,
you have different kinds of people,
brown, whatever, black, whoever you are. One of the most diverse church actually in America, actually. So the dynamics change like what you've been used to before. I attended this church when I was interning too, but I think for me, the core of every church, the core of if I want to attend a church or not, is the message, is the word. Like, what do you believe in? Do you believe in the death, burial, and resurrection? Which is what are you preaching to us? Like, are you preaching the word? And which is, you've attended church several times, which is what in any church, this is the core of it all. So whether you attend the Nigerian church or you attend Oyinbo church or attend whatever, like the message is the most important thing. So
the message
but
has to be
today
the
we're
word
just
of
catching
God.
cruise anyway. So don't take it personal, I beg.
If I want to start, my number one, if you are doing Naija versus Oyinbo church, one, time management.
Okay.
And I will also put a caveat and say that it is not also all Naija churches.
Yeah, let's say the same thing.
It's also not Naija churches, because when I was growing up, I grew up in Winners. Winners, I think main Winners, the one in Canaan land, they do 5 or 6 services. Papa is very strict. Like, Papa is a by the rules kind of person. Yeah. So there's even they won't even give you a chance. I remember testimony time in Winners. You're not holding the mic. You won't hold the mic because the person that announces it,
auntie, go back
straight. So time, they are very, because you can't be doing 5 services and you are doing
overtime
all the time.
You overlay.
No. Because and the church is always very packed. So while people are waiting, second service are coming, people are waiting outside, waiting for you to move out first. So that's one thing. But I'll say that these people, their word is their word. The Igbo church especially, because they are very, very consistent with their time conscious. That's the right word. They're very time conscious.
That was one of the things that drew me into, like, started church by 9, by
11,
10:50. In fact, the very first church, the very first this thing, by 11, that first one was even by 10:15.
They were done.
Like 10:18 and they left church. I was like,
because your church is 9 a.m.,
11 and 1. So it's like,
so they need to make sure that there's time enough to clean up,
leave, even the parking situation.
So time. But sometimes in Naija church is like, they're being led by the Spirit. Yes, that's fine. But every Sunday. And again, one thing that you need to now see is that you also can't plan your day in a way.
Yeah.
So you can't have, so if you are planning your day, so let's say for example you go to church around 9. So for example, Ebun's church now is Oyinbo church. You know that by 11, if you don't branch anywhere, you should be back home. Yeah. And your house is not really so far from your like 20 minutes. By 11 you are back. But if you are in like a typical Nigerian church where you don't even know whether people will finish early or finish late, and maybe you need to take a call, you need to call somebody, you won't set your time for 11 or 12. It's maybe 1:30 or 2. And even that myself is still
maybe if you call meeting after church.
Hey God.
Oh my God. But again, it's not all, because I attended TCN Nigeria, Covenant Nation. Now TCN too had, I think they had at that time maybe 2 or 3 services. I attended Yaba for a 6 o'clock service. We were done. Even in Igomu, like in 1 hour 30 minutes.
It take time.
It was very, very fast. Pastor Kojo Emadi, he's also, I remember during WAFBEG was saying that one of the reasons why he invited somebody back was because he was very time conscious. Like anytime he says he's ending, then he's ending. I love it. Like I really love. I mean, sometimes once in a while, I mean, the space can move, right? But like not every time.
People can move all the time, but like don't let it move big. I feel like because God is even a God of order. He's a God of order. So I feel like if you are going to do something, let it be fixed. So if you are going to do, like, stick to time. This is me talking that I remember how one Sunday later, I think it was 2 weeks ago, they said, Omo-Olorun,
you said they stick to time. When they say prayer is 7 minutes. So Omo-Olorun have used me to sing praise and worship. So I think it's just it's just a general thing that happens. So, but again, I feel like at the end of the day, we are used to it. Like even if I go back, like I don't see it as something. Sometimes though, I'm like I beg, let's be going home. But a lot of times, because we also do faffing, like
you see, like, after
church, you greet everybody, we do fellowship and things like that. So either, I mean, none of me, I love it when people take the time anyway, but I'm not saying.
The thing about it is that even if you go to in Naija church, they are sticking to time. That faffing is one that will never collect most of your time.
That's the thing.
Because let's say you're even done by 11:30, you find out that you are going home by 1:30. But if
you have more than one service, like you just go for one service, that your faffing ends. Like when I was at TCN, your faffing ends because another service is coming up, so you don't have enough time. So that's what else do we have? So I think another thing I wanted to talk about is like typical praise and worship that we do.
Yeah.
So for instance, in Oyinbo church now, we sing Hill song, Maverick music, all those
elevation worship,
all those type of song. But in our Tiwantiwa, you will
go down. You will go down.
So for instance, if you are doing, like, for instance, every first Sunday is Thanksgiving in Redeem. So you do Thanksgiving service. I love it. Like, I feel like one of the things, like, when I was considering, like, I feel like that was a huge part, because I love the fact that, you go to church, you dance, you do baby dedication, you do Thanksgiving service, everybody will dance to the front, like, have a great time. But in both churches, do
they even acknowledge, like, not like acknowledge,
there's no praise and worship difference, like, there's no
what I'm even saying is, like, when how you do first, you're entering a new month, you do Thanksgiving. Do they do that?
You don't necessarily do Thanksgiving. Sometimes we do special services, But even those special services, you won't hear KBSU. You hear
KBSU.
You hear song. What's this popular song that you were singing just now?
Christ alone.
No. Like that song, that fast song that you were singing, that very popular song now that people that will be jumping up. I think it's a victory.
No. In
Oyinbo church now. Okay. Like that popular song that
did they sing it today?
No, they didn't sing it today. You were singing it just now. I can't remember. If I remember, I'll say it. Like it's all those songs that you be like, those are like the fast songs, like on special services. So, but like for instance, now I still went to Redeem when we're doing crossover, because my church doesn't do, like, they don't do special crossover service.
Oh, that's true.
But me, I'm still like,
it's no way I'm not crossover
for all of my year, but every year I cross over from church. I went to I go to CW, like, sometimes. So I go there, and I did a proper in my head. Even Easter, like, so on special service like that, like Easter, like, I try to still get my groove on and things like that. So. But yeah, worship is worship. The most bad thing is it has to come from your heart.
Praising God. And and again, I think one thing I will mention, I don't know if you wanted to mention it, dressing.
Oh yeah, it's part of it.
Because if you are going to Naija church, you are wearing your best of your best outfits. Like, you are going there cacked up. You are wearing heels. You are doing your makeup. You are doing your hair. You are wearing nice clothes. You're looking good.
I think that's why I haven't shopped in a while. Like, I was telling somebody was asking me, I haven't bought new shoes. And normally I would have been thinking of.
Do you think you need new shoes?
I do. You can never be.
Do you think you need new shoes?
I don't know why you think. When last did you see me buy new shoes? Are you not tired of seeing old shoes on my leg?
You don't even go out. Let's even start from there.
That's exactly why I'm having this point. Because normally all those shoes, I wear them on Sunday. Like, I wear heels on Sunday. I wear trad. I wear But now, see, this is literally what I wear.
Even if you were dressing up for church, you usually wear native to church. So which shopping do you want to do?
No, it's not only native. There's only native wear to church.
Most times I'm saying you.
Me?
Yes.
No, now.
Yes, you do. And you wear pants and this thing.
Yeah, I wear pants a lot. Like, I wear pants and then I wear heels.
Pants to the office. So, like, why would you need to shop again? That's what I'm trying to say.
But I don't wear heels to the office now. How many times do I wear heels to the office?
But it's not just one Sunday in a month. One Sunday in a week.
That's how somebody wants to help me now. Be like, I want to buy a shoe. Then I say, I beg
you. Buy shoe for her.
Buy me a shoe. But yeah, like, this is like casual. In fact, I feel like I've become so lazy about. I don't even think about my Sunday outfit. I just, when I'm in the bathroom, I'm like, okay, jeans. I just look for my blue color jeans, my sweatshirt, my sneakers, and that's it.
There was the day that I saw Ebun going to church. I wore black. Okay, I think you were working that day.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, what's wrong with this girl? She wore black. She wore black cap. I was like,
Anytime I'm working, I wear, because I'm in production, so that's a.
I was going to tap you to see one lady that was in front of us. I don't know if you saw her. She was wearing a blue gown. She wore heels.
I saw it. I know that woman.
Are you serious?
I'll just you. No, not like just, but like one of the things I was saying in this video. That woman. If she sees me, I'm sure she'll like wait. That's I've said her before.
Because I was going to say that I will see you now, because you've allowed yourself to live the way you were brought up in the law, where you're supposed to be cracking up. See this woman now, she's doing what you're supposed to be doing.
I give it to her. There was one day she wore lemon on lemon. I was like,
serious?
Give it to them,
like
girl.
Fashion,
very. I know her. I saw her. So yeah.
I was because I like that shoes, and she was standing on heels. Well, again, they don't use to stand too much. So you can wear heels, man. You can wear heels. So that's 6-inch heels that you're afraid of.
I mean, I like it too. Like I feel like it's very true. Like my Sundays are so I already know what's happening on Sunday, so I don't do like an extra prep or whatever. So which is good. So yeah, the dressing differs. What else? Okay, yeah. Let me tell you this one. So I remember when I started, when I joined the workforce, and then so that time I used to do Sundays. Anytime I'm working, I would do on Sundays. 3 services. Yeah. And another thing is, okay, let me not say this because so it won't be like. But one of the things I realized, or maybe again, if maybe not by Oyinbo or Naija, it just varies from church to church. The kind of dedication that people have, it's just like the zeal is just different. So you've seen me go to church on Sunday before. I have to be in church by I think 6:45, and service does not start until 9. Do you know what we're doing by 6:45? We are literally rehearsing. I'm in production, so we are rehearsing with the choir. We are rehearsing with the whole production unit, even the online production units, to make sure that the service goes smoothly. So because obviously in Athens, like we get to production, we get to like 30 minutes before church. But here we are there like hours before, so we are running. I run lyrics, so I'm running lyrics. The choir is singing, and I'm running lyrics while the choir is singing to make sure that while the service is on, there is no mistake. If there's any mistake, we are solving it there. So it's not that one that where we are. This thing will not be changed. Like, will not be. It can't happen. I don't know if I've ever. There has never been the level of excellence. I was shocked, and I think that was one of the reasons why I started going to like this church, because I wanted to be so intentional to see how things are done in other places. So anyway, so when you get to church, and when I get to church, there are people that are already in church, like the choir is already in church. I'm like, so
when are you leaving your house?
I'm like, see,
but is it all the choir that comes, or just people ministering?
No, the people that are ministering. Okay. So I'm like, okay,
the level to these things is always there.
That's what I wanted to say, that there are some people that are. Anyway, that's the people that day. So yeah, when we get to church, we'll rehearse, we'll do a general production unit that is not just choir and production. It's like everybody that is in production, literally from the beginning, from the director or whatever. Then we'll now pray. We'll now like pray if you have a prayer point or whatever. So I remember, they were praying for somebody, and then the person was praying. As the person was praying, in Nigeria, and I say in Jesus' name, say Amen. In the name of Jesus, Amen. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you. Amen. My dear, Jesus. Then they say Amen on the end of prayer. I didn't realize I was the only one saying Amen after every stop. At some point, I had to I'm sure they'll be like, what's wrong with this girl? So they will now pray on the prayer. And at the end of the prayer, we will now say,
but I feel like because we grew up in Naija church, and you feel like that prayer has not sealed, finished.
I swear to God, like,
they give a very powerful prayer point that you will not lose your life. Amen.
Then they do that one. So I just the way you said, are we not going to share grace? Like, there's no, I feel like, so the way it is there's no one structured way to say prayer. For instance, in Nigeria, if you want to say, if anybody wants to pray, the person will almost always say in Jesus' name before you pray.
That's what it means. But yeah, they'll be like, dear God.
Yeah, like, and some people
Father,
do say
Lord.
in Jesus' name too, but like there's no one set way. Like the way you communicate.
So that's why I'm saying that in a way sometimes too, our prayers or our worship or our relationship with God can feel very routine like,
Because
even then, when you were a child and you're like, you must pray before you sleep,
in Jesus' name.
Things that you just say, like,
in the mighty name of Jesus, eternal rock of ages, we thank you. We give you glory, give you honor.
If you don't want to sound very funny, like everlasting Father,
King of glory.
You be like everlasting Father. I'll be like,
oh my God. And every time once we pray, that's the same thing you pray. Which is fine. See, God listens to every one of us. So that's what I'm just saying, that sometimes when you see how things are done in somewhere else, it doesn't mean they're wrong. It just means that you have been so used to
something that maybe you need to break out of it.
Yeah. Like you now feel like, what somebody else is doing is wrong. So I remember that one. Do you remember any other one?
I was about to think of one, but I think I forgot that.
Okay, I've seen what I'm to say. Okay, so in a Nigerian church, again, I was in media department. I am still in the media department. So when and I don't know if this happens to in every Oyinbo, but like I mean church I attend and a couple of churches I've gone to, when they are projecting in a normal Naija church, the moment you go in the spirit, you see the cameraman like this on you. But I think for some reason, maybe because of privacy issue or because of
you were saying that they don't really
have you ever really seen normal typical Sunday service, do you really, see them show the? They don't show the audience. Like they focus on
the back of their head,
or if they are going to, or there's just this general view,
wide shot.
So I think I think respecting people's privacy
is a big thing here because
it's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. So they don't really focus on like this person has gone so deep in worship. What if I don't want to be on the screen? Down.
What if you are hiding? They're not come and show you on the screen. They're not put you on YouTube.
I haven't really. I think I want to also ask about that because I'm like, this is very different from normally when you're in media, it's like an unsaid rule. One of your job is to show people that are deep or this is on the screen.
That's why I say so. A lot of times too, I think all these things to also bring up the question that are we performing? Like, are there like some series of performances that we've started to put into the church? Because sometimes, when like maybe a minister is preaching or something and you hear people like roll, do whatever I want to do. But why is it that in some churches it doesn't happen? Do you get like when they are doing like, maybe like a general blessing or something and then you just hear people screaming, you hear people doing this and it doesn't happen in I don't think I've seen it in American churches.
I was also going to let us talk about similarities and one of the major similarities is the message. Now we had a program in church, it's called Thirst. I think you've come for like a mini test before, one of the services, but this one was like a full thirst. It was an evening service. It was very powerful. Trust me, there were screamings. So again, that's what I'm saying, that the core of whatever church I want to attend is like there has to be the three major elements: God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. Like the Holy Spirit was so strong in that meeting. It was very like it was tangible. Like people, and there was laying of hands that day. I remember Pastor Denny, it was like literally laying hands on people and people were getting healed and people were so. It's just that in a typical Naija, like almost every time everything happens, but it also happens here. So it's just that it's not. I mean, like some people do perform it or whatever, but some like it also happens here. That's what I want to say. Just that the frequency might be different. Yeah, but at least I have seen it. It was that first. I was like, okay, this is different. Like, and we do Holy Communion. So I think the first Sundays is Holy Communion
every month.
Yeah, first Sundays is Holy Communion. So
that's similar to our own. That's similar to Nigeria too.
Nigeria is first Wednesdays in Rhythm. So that's what I'm saying that
Winners is every Sunday.
So that's what I'm saying that it's not. It's just that our style of doing things are different, and
that's true, Sha.
True. But I love excellence. At least I've seen like some level of and I'm learning every day. I'm like they're better. They're always better ways to do things, and
and
you
I
just see people.
Another thing again is I think one thing I also like, or one thing I see that I not necessarily miss. One thing I like, I would say, is when you're also focusing on it's kind of like Bible study, like just like the one we went to
series.
So it's kind of like Bible study when you are following a particular and you're following it deep and you're following it in. So I think I like things like that. I like things like that. Bible study is always fun. So I think I always like churches where the word is powerful. Like you can't like inject it like once you have a minister that, and I don't even really mind big or small or because I remember when I was serving my church, the church I was going to was very small, like it was a very small branch, but that pastor was preaching fire. So like you said, the word has to be the core of any particular church that you're going to. It's not even about like the praise or the some people will tell you that if the church does not have a fire choir or whatever, that they can't.
I mean, it's part of it. I'm not saying you should say, I won't attend, but at least I can't go to that church. I think worship is also a huge part of. But it does not make sense to say because this is not it. I feel like church is a lot of things. To me, church is apart from the word also community, right?
Yeah,
because
big.
Yeah, big small church,
there's
whatever.
No, what I'm saying is that it's a
huge part. I get what you're saying because I remember like one of my ideologies when I was reading the scriptures for the not the first time, but like when I was growing into it was the apostles. How the apostles came together, to share what they had, to solve each other's problems. I'm like, that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
That's a big part of a church, like community. Like it's just so important.
Yeah.
So everywhere you are, because that's where we live, right?
And I think one thing, I've said it on this podcast, that anytime I get to a new place, the very first thing I try to find is a church.
Yeah.
Because that's where you will find your people that are like you, people who have the same mind, who have the same spirit,
it's like
who have the
one
same
thing. Imagine people of different races, but one thing is bringing us together. That's powerful.
So that's
very powerful.
I thought about something again and I forgot. Oh yeah, I was going to mention something again about how, I don't know if maybe it's like a similarity, maybe it's like a difference, but I think we've been socialized a lot of times in Naija churches to put in our best. Like, it's like you are coming to see your father, so you put in, like, you dress up, like, because most times if I know, maybe I'm not feeling like, anytime you see me wearing jeans to church, you know that this one woke up like something is wrong.
But I liked it though, because that's how we grew up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You wear your best clothes to church first.
Yes. So even on your birthday, if your birthday falls on church, or if it's Christmas Day, or if we dress. Yeah. So like that's something that we grew up with. So like, and in Oyinbo church, that's not something that they know. So it's not like,
I don't think so. I feel like our dressing. Our dress sense are very different actually. Because I remember, like, during Easter service, like after the Easter service, like the pastor was saying, "Oh, you guys showed up well. What was it? Show up and show up well? It's still normal." but that's their show up and show up well. True. So they don't have Iran Buba. They don't have the whole colorful attire that we do.
Even if we don't do Iran Buba, I think just to, like, I feel like what we think of when we think about dressing and dressing up, they are two different things entirely. That's what Even if we're not dressing up with like our traditional attires or anything,
like we're wearing heels,
yeah.
But that's not what they know as. So what they know as dress up is different. For instance, do you know why people do makeup? Sometimes I don't really even see the difference between a wet person.
Natural makeup. No?
But they do makeup. Like they actually do, like the way we make up and do. They also do it. Like they also use blush and things like that. But you won't really notice.
You need to kiss their face or
what? Yeah. Like, have you ever seen somebody and you're like, this person used makeup today? Have you ever seen a white person?
I can tell if they use makeup.
It's not as obvious as when a black person does makeup. It's just the same.
I don't think so.
No, it's not as obvious. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, this person's actually wearing a lip. I'm like, oh, you're actually wearing a lip. I thought your lip was this color.
So for that lip one, sometimes you won't know. Because you'll be thinking it's just lip gloss or something, or you'll be thinking...
So that's the thing. Like, what they think is showing up and showing up well, it's not what we think is showing up and showing up well.
Right? It's culturally.
So, yeah. So, I think that's one of the major things, because it's like somebody who is wearing the latest Jordan to church, but you are just seeing it as a sneakers and jean. But that's like the person's latest...
I think it's also because even when we were growing up, wearing jeans to church it's not really it. That's what I'm saying. Wearing jeans to church, you're like,
it's not it.
Why are you wearing jeans to church?
It's like you're wearing heels. You're wearing,
because when you wear jeans, it's like you're wearing something casual. So if you're wearing to church, it's like if your parents never allow you to leave your house wearing jeans to church, so you have to wear a dress, or you wear like a skirt, or.
So I think our perception of dress up is different. I think that's like the major.
It's very different.
Yeah,
very,
that's
very
the major. And I think that's why we also say when we go to, different events, and like, why is this person just wearing this kind of everything? But in that, maybe that person's mind, the person is showing up and showing up well.
So I'm like, so that's why a lot of times, that's why different cultures, you look at things from different perspectives. Yeah. Because if you just go there thinking, oh, why is this person doing this? You're like, that person is actually dressing up. Because even when I was in Portugal, and I was like, we're abroad, we need to show up, we need to turn up, and I'm like, all of us are feeling the same vibe, and people are coming out and they are wearing like jeans, and I'm like, I thought we were turning up. like no, you can wear jeans, but like you look like there will be no difference between you being in America and you being abroad, and I'm like, but I was like, oh, I've gotten used to it right now, because
that's over here when they say, oh, we have a dinner, my dear, they people are wearing jeans and slippers to dinner. So, but if you tell me, we have a dinner tonight, and I'm thinking, fancy dress.
Yeah. I think even just like one of the very first episodes that we had, that we're talking about when you attended the honors awards.
Okay, we're talking about Crocs and slippers.
Yeah. So even things like slippers, we see it like in Nigeria as you are dressed down.
Yeah, you actually dressed down.
You are dressed down if you are wearing slippers. But here, some people wear it and like they wear it on like fancy clothes and all of that. So I think your natural instinct to be like, why exactly are you wearing slippers? But like, you really don't know what's happening with the person. So let them wear their slippers, bro.
Yeah, my dear, as long as you are turning up for God, like turn up and turn up well. Turn up and turn up for Christ. That's the most important
thing, honestly.
So
that's the most important thing.
So let's talk about some church ethics. So what are some of the church ethics that you've seen? Like, what are some of the things that you're like, we can actually do better? Wait, let me start. So for instance, we go to
church ethics, sorry, I just remember something again that I was going to mention. Food.
Oh yeah, food.
I was going to mention food because sometimes church. Okay, and again, I think so. Two different aspects, or let me say 3 different aspects. Church back home, Nigerian church here, and Oyinbo church here. So church back home, I think after almost every service there is food. Either you're buying puff, you're buying small chops, ice cream for children. You know,
there's food around somewhere.
Like, you can't go to church and come back without buying anything. Like, except maybe they shout on you that day, or they will buy something for you. Buy ice cream,
or even when there are even special events, like you know that rice is rice in church, or you eat in church.
So then church like Naija church here too. Also notice the same thing. Like, sometimes anytime I people stop telling my parents that, because when I first started, I'll be like, they gave us this church. They were like, are you doing anything at your church? Are you
my
first at your church?
My father now became very like, did they give you food in church today? I'm like, it's not every day that is Christmas, sir.
Anything we are doing, like at times it's just, one of a kind.
Yeah.
But sometimes that some say just like food is sure. Like,
but I haven't seen it in, maybe because I don't go to COD very often. I haven't really gone to
church. You have to go backwards. But the one time they did it at what's the name of Hosanna's church?
The Rock, Abi.
No, the Rock Center is here. What was the name of our church? I can't remember.
What happened?
They also
I think they said they gave you guys food.
Yeah, I can't remember what kind of what special service it was. But that one was different because it was already packed. It was just grab and go.
Okay, which makes sense now.
So you don't need to deal with any.
In American churches they give food though, but just that the food is not Nigerian. Just like for instance, now when we did
lunches, I beg.
Bus lunches, and then they also gave coffee and donuts. I've taken donut before each other. I've taken coffee before each other. So again, what is food to you? It's different from what is food to
culture. See, culture plays a big part in almost every single thing.
Oh my god, it's a very, very huge one.
Every single thing. Because you'll be thinking, there'll be food in church. You will not go there. You'll not be seeing salad. There was one that we went to. I can't remember.
Was it the women's conference?
That one was sandwich. Now it's not sandwich. Yeah.
It was sandwich.
Just sandwich. But this food does not excite me. But I'm sure people that they grew up eating all this stuff, to be exciting for them.
Yeah, it's like, there's food in church today.
Just like when we're excited when there's jollof in church or fried rice in church. So so different strokes for different folks.
Anytime I produce, I also get food. So but obviously it's because there's like a very long time.
Yeah,
they give us food, so which is good.
Okay, church ethics.
Yeah. So number 1. The ITK of the church. Oh Lord. You guys cannot do without talking. Must you talk? Pastor is saying something. There was one day,
pastor.
Somebody sat beside me. First of all, during the service, they did what's it called now? Water baptism. During the service. So like when everybody was coming out, like they were like, I don't know if you've ever witnessed baptism in church before. But like you come and then you say something and then they will dunk you and then bring you back up. So they did it for like the first person.
Is this Oyinbo church?
Yeah, like then the second person that came now had dreads, had tattoo. The person beside me, I was not like, Jesus, standing up. Jesus, let this person thought. I knew that this person is Nigerian. It's like, this person shall not turn to his wayward ways again.
We can stereotyping,
and I know that the reason why, because somebody else had come before the person, and I don't know the reason why this person was saying that is because you saw like
you had this
look, Jesus, this person will not go back to his
over sabi.
That day I could not stop myself for laughing because I was like, how did we get here?
Do you even know what the person's life has been like?
It's typical Nigerian mother.
Stereotypical.
But anyway, and then when the pastor is preaching, before the pastor lands, maybe the pastor will say, "For God so loved the world that they gave you grace." You now say, "That's John 3:16." And you know what else the Bible said? That is why we are here on earth to fulfill it. I'm like, she now you they preach, I mean that pastor they preach. Abba. We you ask somebody said that day the person was so annoying. I'm like, can we please like you're not making me, and the thing is these people want to talk to somebody because they want to like lecture, so they want somebody to listen. I'm like,
feel that
we are listening to like there's one preacher.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, when the pastor maybe drops a point, you will add like 3 of your own. How about now? Is it you that is preaching on the pastor? If you want to preach,
go and collect
like, what's your own?
It just reminds me of what you said. That just reminds me of my dad when we were still in Benin that time when winners. My dad is the kind of person that if you're not ready, we drive off and leave you. Mm-hmm. He was not telling us about, I think maybe during Sunday one devotion in the morning or something, about how somebody was trying to distract him in church. He now said they know him now. Because he used to call him like Baba and everything. He said, don't even ask me for pen. Don't come to you. That is here to listen to the word. He will look at the picture. I know that one day, so one young man was telling me, Daddy, please, excuse me. That what did the pastor say? He said he never even turned. That they'll be thinking maybe he does not hear or something. He said no. He said we even look at him, he won't smile.
Oh God! So please, assistant Holy Spirit,
them dirty eye.
Assistant pastors, please let us rest. Let us listen. Like listen first.
Don't you think?
Maybe you know it, but at least listen.
I think the next response you need to be giving them is like, do you have a calling on your life?
Like, you need to
have a calling on your life. Because
I mean, it's okay to make like, I agree, or you remember this resonates with me, but everything the pastor say is you are completing the sentence. You know the next point. You and the pastor, you put rose the this thing
together.
I'm like, I beg.
I think the one that sometimes annoys me, sometimes it's good, but sometimes it annoys me, is people like, preach it, pastor.
This reminds me of one church in UI, but not the name of church. I said I went to that church for the first time.
Give it to me, pastor.
Give it to me, pastor. Preach it, pastor. We just fly up. Yes, pastor. Yes, sir. Bless me, pastor. I said, hey, Jesus. I never return to church again. I don't even know the message the pastor they talk. Ordinary talk, good pastor they talk. Preaching pastor. I said, hey, I'm sure you know that church. If you went to UI, that was opposite Idia Hall.
Not you giving the name easily.
I don't even know if they are still there. Maybe if you went to UI in 2011, 2013.
Preach it, pastor. Give it to us, pastor. Tell us more, pastor.
It was very funny because that same service, number one, we were there for hours. It was hours. Hey, apart from the preaching, they did maybe now anointing service, maybe now legal service. I don't understand. Then they touch pastor never reach, but don't fall that. Say hey. They will now go to the front. They will not give them like, I think they will pour the thing. But I don't even have to go to the front because I was like, it was anyway, in my opinion, just
to that church in the first place.
It was laziness. Let me tell you. let me be very honest with you. So when I was in Idia Hall, the church was just up, so you could literally walk to the church. So New Covenant NCCF at that time, I wanted to try out NCCF. New Covenant Church, that was like the church I attended, had also had a school fellowship at that venue. So apparently NCCF was in the afternoon, this church was in the morning. So I think I just kind of mixed it up, and then I went for that because it was the same venue, it was that same venue. So I went for that church in the morning, up and I'm like, oh, it's very close to me, let me just go. But after that day, at the NCCF, at the Kiliko, I don't even return. They will call a number. Oh, we see you. You know, guess you know they see me next week. I beg.
Oh God. Oh.
So yeah. So yeah, that talking about another church ethic is, I think we've talked about is like keeping to time. Like that's why when we're leaving today, we're like, I beg, we have to be in church before service starts. Like not strolling casually to church. I feel like sometimes the way we are like, at least if we miss something, every time that we go to church,
which is not supposed to be. Which is not supposed to be.
So
I think there was a period of time in my life where I can't remember which stage this period was, but maybe service is from like 9 to 10:30. You'll be getting to church by 9:30, and by then praise would have. If you do that kind of thing in this your church, go. You would have started the message. Message would have started
now because it's very straightforward.
Message would have started. Yeah. From praise and worship, prayer, then the message.
That's how it was to at TCN. So it's like if you're coming to church by 9:30, so what?
It was TCN. I came late to one time, and it was already in the middle of the one. I was just like, because at that point you're like, and you won't even really feel. I think you, because everything sets you up for the word that you're going to listen to. So if you are going in and you don't even, you just, in fact, it's just, you're already there's no point. Just join online.
Yeah.
So it was even today, as we were in the service, I was like, oh, that since they even have the service on Saturdays, that can be, because sometimes I also need something to listen to. So, and a lot of times I'm like, oh, should I follow this? I'm like, I can be listening to this one because I like this series that they are teaching now in your church. So I'm like, okay, it's something I can be listening to even on maybe when I'm not less busy, but like in the background and all of that.
Yeah.
So
that's another one. Then another one is I have a lot. Devotion. Again, I've talked about it. Devotion. Again, like I said,
devotion?
Like your attitude to service, and you just being committed. When I'm in the church, I like to join the workforce because I like to, apart from the fact that you're learning, you're also serving. That's your service basically to God. So, and I've seen that the way, again, you have to be in church by 6:45 if you're mission by 9. You can't stroll in by,
and nobody will listen to any excuse.
Like, what excuse do you even have?
First of all, say, like, again, familiarity breeds. Is it over familiarity breeds contempt now? Be familiarity breeds contempt. Because sometimes when you look at, in this setting and looking at like in Naija versus Oyinbo, because if you look at something, especially when you've related with like Oyinbo people for a while, you realize that business is business. Work is work. Play is play. But a lot of times when you are a Nigerian or because of this, because we have this, so Oyinbo has like this very individualistic nature. But we have this very community, like we that kind of thing. So most times when it's like time to work, you'll be mixing in
that
it's not me and you. So a lot of times that's when there is no discipline. There's no discipline. So when you have some, not like strict pastors, I'll say, but when you have some pastors that lay down, like don't do anyhow, it's necessary. But continue.
Because it's just like, I have never been to church where, I mean, I've done production somewhere before, and sometimes during the TV something crashed, or maybe we don't have lyrics, or like something very random happened, and at some point it became very normal, and even me, I started making excuses like, oh, maybe something was wrong. But over here, I've never seen anything, and this is a huge. So now that I'm in the nitty-gritty, I see that it's not just by coming to church 5 minutes before service. So like, people actually put in like everything that has been tested. So even if something crashes, that was an exception, right? So every people are putting in their time, their efforts to just say that, look, it has to be excellent.
Because even when you see service happening, and when those, how the pastor will be on the screen and the slides
somebody is behind it,
and the slides come into this, and I'm always like, this thing is clean.
That's literally what I do. Like,
it's clean.
Those are the things I do in service.
Like.
So you see how production is, from the camera, from everything is, and it's not even like 100, because there's always room for improvement. So we that we are behind the scene, we might notice like 1 or 2 things, but you that you are there,
I'm not listening. I'm just like,
the point is to have the best experience that you can have from worship. Even during worship, so that sometimes the screen changes to imitate what they are singing about, like, because you need the whole experience. So
even when we're singing, "Word is your name, Jesus,"
you see the different names of Jesus pop up.
So one thing again I wanted to mention, we're talking about how you wear black for your media or something. Today, I was saying that I haven't sat that close to the front before, because I'm always like staying at the up. No, not even that. The media people, not the media. Is it media? The media people that were recording. I just looked and they literally phased into like the camera. Like you could literally not even see them. They were there, but they are so like they're not a distraction to people that are there. So when I think about yellow. When I think about, why did you have to mention yellow?
On purpose, my dear. So that you understand what your color does.
Because when I think about, I just remembered one person that invited me to church when I was in Benin, and production was either in the front, and they had like their back office was like up at the gallery side and everything. And sometimes that production, you just be seeing somebody walking up, walking down, going left, going right, turning the camera like this.
We do it too now. When we're in this thing, we do it to production, everything. Something is wrong upstairs. We go to the front. We go and talk to them.
No. What I'm saying is that, like, you can see the cameraman. There's a camera on the side that is like moving on his own. But I'm saying these people, they were just focused on like the screen and everything. But I'm saying because of how they were moving so much, like you could even like you'd be distracted. You even watching them like, oh, what are they doing?
I'm saying that even when we're in that thing too, like we do, like production move everywhere, like media. Everywhere. Although that's a smaller setting though. I can't.
No, this one was that the people that on that podium, that stage, they are the ones that are moving the camera up and down. So because of even how their clothes is even attractive,
blending into the
I'm saying
like the other ones.
The one I went to in Benin, like it's very distracting. It's very distracting. So a lot of all these things is room for improvement. And you know, even our church back in Athens, we have like this suggestion box where if you see anything, you can come and drop it. I think once you realize that you are not 100%, the most important
nobody's
thing,
100%.
Yeah. But even and again, just like what you're talking about devotional, it even takes somebody, because the pastor cannot say everything, the elders cannot say everything, the heads of departments cannot say anything. What are you as a person, or what are you as a church member or a worker doing? Because it's very easy to say, we're not doing this, we're not doing this. But okay, you've seen something we're not doing. What is your thought of improvement?
True.
Because some people, all they do is complain.
Yeah.
They just say, we're not. And I'm like, okay, what is now the solution? I don't know the solution, no.
And how do you become a part of the solution, Seth?
They're not ready to do that. It's just about, what can I complain about? Or how can I say something is not working well?
That's another church ethic.
Yeah. So, again, you need to choose the right, because everybody is learning, everybody is growing. Like, as much as people are leaders over us, there are still some things that you can contribute, even as a member. Don't even just be a member. Be a worker in the church. Like, contribute something significant. Or
be a value-adding member.
Regardless of what you are doing, even if it's for you to be packing, depending on what kind of church you are. Maybe you are packing chairs, or you are cleaning, or you are praying, or you are joining media or something. Like, even when you see things that you're like, they do this thing better in this place, tell them, suggest to them, because it was someone that suggested.
But you feel like someone just suggested what?
Like social media, like get on social media, have a presence. Because when we were interning in Atlanta, and they when we went to church there, and they will ask the first time, how did you hear about us?
They'll say social media.
They'll say, they went on Instagram and they were just looking around and they saw us. So you know, that's another way to also bring people in. So if you don't even have this social media presence,
but do you think sometimes we are very, how do I put it? Like, we hold on to what we know, and then we are very averse to new things.
Definitely.
Because I'm just thinking now, for instance, I got here, and I see the way things are done. So you just kind of, and it's normal human nature, you have to follow that. But imagine being in a place where things are done differently, and then you now come in and say, I have this. Do you think people would be so willing to, follow?
I think there's a wisdom to it, and also you need to have a value track record. You can't just.
No, but you're new.
And you're new, but you can't just. You are not just new, so you can have suggestions. You can place. So the thing about it is that I don't know where we're listening. I don't know if we're in the same place that they were talking about influence. Okay, no, it was a class I had, and the person was literally speaking. Was a consultant, and he was speaking, and he was saying you need to be a team player, even if it means that your idea is the right one, but nobody takes your idea, and your team ends up sinking. That you need to have that you have to build a level of influence where you say something and you can back it, and people understand, and you can back it up. So if you're coming as a newbie into the church, and you're like, oh, this is different, when you come in, obviously nobody likes change. People will not really want to, because where do they know you from? How do they know that your ideas can be trusted? How do they know that you will implement this thing? And okay, what if there's nobody that has the expertise to implement, and it's only you? How can they trust you to even show up and be consistent in showing up and maybe teaching people and all of that? So I think, first of all, even if you're a newbie and you come in and know what is going on first. Know the lay of the land. Know the right persons to talk to. Know the right people to talk to. Because you can't just say, oh, let's do this, and you're talking to somebody that is in an entirely different, or you're saying, oh, maybe choir, we need to maybe dress in uniforms, and you're talking to the head of usher. What's the head of usher going to do about it? Things like
so what
that.
I'm saying is, for instance, now if you are, say, maybe you're coming from maybe a big church to a small church, for instance, and obviously, like, I also grew up in a small church, so it's not even about this thing. So sometimes the way things are done in bigger churches, for instance, I can't compare the church I am right now with the church I'm coming from in Athens, because the resources are different, the size is different, so different things. So obviously everybody can improve and whatever, but I'm like, okay, so imagine that you're coming with the zeal of, oh yeah, I'm from this church or whatever, or maybe say somebody come from COD, for instance, I'm come into Athens, and then you're like, okay, so say in church, we get to church by 7 a.m. for a 9 o'clock service. Do you think everyone look at you like, from where now? It's like so imagine you come to church by 7. It's possible that you also come to church by 7, but I feel like before you know it, you say one way or the other, just adjust.
You adjust. So I think, again, it now depends on your level of determination.
My dear, we are human beings, so imagine you coming to church by 7 every time, and it's just you. Because again,
there are people that can do it.
It takes a lot.
That's what I'm saying. That it depends on your level of determination. And again, I think influence also matters, because who you are. Because there are people that do something and they get influenced by the person, and you're like, oh, I actually want to do this thing with you. And from there, it takes just a little bit. But for that one, it might take about, because even the one. So again, it also goes to discipline too. So how disciplined is the workforce? That when they say,
that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes, because it's like one person is just coming in, and then everybody has a way of doing things. So
no, it's definitely going to be very difficult. It's going to be very, especially when you have people who are maybe sort of older and they're like set in their ways.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing too.
Because
like
once people are set in their ways, it's like it's very hard. There are people that they are still telling you, oh, they can't use Android phone. You know, things like that. You're like, at this point, you need to move. So I think if you also have leadership that is willing to listen to young people or willing to listen to ideas, not even just from young people, if you have leadership that is saying, oh, we know that we might be lacking in some areas, let us know. When you have people like that, so that's what I'm saying, that when you come as a newbie, you also need to find out who are the people that have voice, who are the people that you can talk to, that you know that to a reasonable extent they can influence things. So when you have, because you can't just come and just be saying things like
you get by. That's the summary.
Exactly.
Get by.
Exactly. So
anyway,
you're leading us on church because
my dear. I don't know what I want to say. Auntie Deborah, why are you sleeping in church? Why? This is a serious matter.
Actually,
hey, 1 hour 30-minute service, you are sleeping. Oh, why not sleep in your house?
You know,
and this is the message online later.
That's what I was saying about sometimes people just do things for routine. Because some people will tell you that, oh,
in Nigeria, you have to go to church on Sunday. That's the thing. It's like whether you listen or not, you have to go to the Sunday.
So it's now, what's not the point if at the end of the day you don't hear the word?
Yeah.
Because there was a time when I think when I was still early on in my relationship with God and everything, that I would go to church and be pressing phone. So what's the point? So,
or even talk throughout. When we're young, we talk. People even see today. Actually, I'm very guilty because when I was in media department, we used to talk at the back.
Thank you for casting them. But you know, I think another thing that in now, maybe when you now become older, when you start living on your own or you're away from family and all of that, and you are solely responsible for yourself.
Yeah.
You now see some people that have not gone to church for like 1 year, 2 years, and they're like, oh, I will join. Actually, when COVID happened and like coming out of COVID, people are like, oh, I will join online.
Yeah.
You're joining online, but you're lying on your bed.
True.
You're joining online in the middle. You know what I remember sometimes? I don't know if you remember one day that we joined vigil from the house.
Who are we deceiving?
Every 10 minutes.
I was sleeping.
We were just deceiving ourselves. I'm like, things like that. There is no.
Oh God.
If you're not standing up, if you're not being active in your room and you're moving about and you're saying, "Oh, I will slide down my," it's a lie. It's a lie.
You're deceiving yourself.
So Auntie Deborah, please, if you are tired, stay in your house. So sleep.
Just sleep. You come to church. You're not really distracting. Imagine that you're not even, say it's a small church and the person on the stage is looking at you. Number one, you are distracting the person. Number two, you are distracting other people, because before you know it, now somebody will not be laughing at you. Before you know, everybody will not be laughing at you.
Embarrassing yourself.
Everybody in the
church.
You're
embarrassing yourself. Then people like me that have second-hand embarrassment, if we know you, will not be embarrassed again. More than you gone.
Another thing I don't like is walking up and down the church. Some people, you stand up now, go to the toilet.
Stand up. Those people that
stand up.
Check out their outfit. They want you to see their outfits.
And I'm like,
people have not complimented them yet.
Especially in a small church. I remember in VHF, it was like when I'm like, he has to say that, can people actually sit down and settle down when they're preaching? Because it's like you are distracting the person, especially when the preacher can actually see everybody.
Yeah.
You alone. You've
the one
left
that will go up
5 times.
You come out. You pick a call. You come down. And funny thing is that as you're not coming, you'll not be smiling at people.
You'll not be smiling at people. You'll not be. I'm like, why are you supposed to be ashamed of yourself? Why are you smiling?
Oh God. A lot of these things are just like, I think, discipline, decorum.
No, it's very important. It's a very, very important thing. It's a very, very important thing.
Like when I have to stand up in the middle of service, my eyes up. I can't see you, can't see me. That's how I feel. Because I rarely even ever go out. But if I have to, I remember.
Yeah, I'm not even saying don't go out, but only you 5 times.
My own is that I will even make eye contact with anybody. So you don't smile at me. I will be like this. I will be up like that. I will be up.
Okay, maybe because I also grew up in it. But I was saying other things. You go to the back of the church, you make you call. Everybody just can hear what I say. I'm like, go to the bush. Get out. We can hear you. Also, those people, their voice are never low. It's hello, ma. I'm like, yeah, your ma, get out of this place. Especially small too, because that one there, there's no room
and everybody
to hide.
knows everybody.
You can literally see somebody else.
You're
I'm like,
embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing
only
us.
you. Your phone is always ringing, and you know all those people. They are
It's not
ringing
be like,
tone. Chico, all those Chico ones. All those ones
It's
that once
always
your
all
phone
those
rings,
loud, embarrassing
the whole
ringtones.
world is like.
Everybody now, even people that were sleeping, and the brother that was sleeping just
You wake up.
Oh God.
Oh
But
God,
you know,
no, it's authentic. It's very, very important.
I think the most important thing is even to just to come. I think when you come with a honest heart, you know, things work out well for you, and you don't.
Yeah.
And again, some kinds of services too. By the time you enter them, you won't feel sleepy at all. Like today's service now.
Yeah, it depends. So you surprised that there was somebody there that's sleeping.
True,
The way you're saying that the word was somebody else is there sleeping or pressing phone throughout.
Well,
So,
that's true, Sha. That's
it
true.
depends. I think it's very personal, and I think the last one is what we've talked about. Like they will ask what you led in church when you say church is powerful. Not that this uncle went to church to press phone.
You know, I think I've told you this story before. I think when we were in NYC, yeah, I was part of NCCF. So we had this regular thing that we do when you're about to do your POP. They do like this general conference. I can't remember the name because everybody will go to like the state capital to
I
do
know
their
that one.
POP.
State conference.
State conference. So one of our other schools, she was not around. I think I don't even remember why she was not available for that particular sermon. But that man preached fire. Like that man preached. So we now came back. We're like, so she was the mama. Hey mama, you missed. Can you come? So you know, I didn't know that people had obviously maybe she had been meeting people and telling her, people had been telling her. So I think I now told her, she was not like, oh that I was state. I was like, it was fire. You missed. She was just like, do you know everybody has been telling me I missed, but nobody has told me what I missed.
Yeah.
That day I was sober. And I said, let me now explain what I heard. I was like, no, Jesus. Because I can still remember that preaching. It was about how I think it was when Jesus raised up Lazarus from the dead, and the preacher was talking about the distance between where Jesus was when they heard the news. You know, Jesus came 4 days later or something, and the distance between where he was and where they were. He said that distance was something that you could walk in like a day. So he like made some this thing about how maybe timing and distance and whatever. But you know when somebody is on fire, so I was just saying, you know, Jesus was here. Like Jesus was here and he came for the. She was just looking at me like, okay.
And do you know what that reminds me of? Another category of people. There are people that when they get to church, they'll come with pen and paper. They will write the whole word. After writing, Uncle Lazarus, have you ever gone back to your notes? When we're young, going to do it in small church, you take because the person that can write the most is the person that is listening the most.
Yes, now
you now write
Tell
1. Me, have
2,
we ever
3, 4, 5, 6?
We ever go back?
Every year you are bringing a new note, but it's just
oh God, but God will help us. God will help us. I think the most important thing is to continue to grow in God and continue to just be of service, inspiring other people.
I think when we're talking about how I was saying that service today was powerful, and you're like, some people might have been sleeping. It just reminds me of this particular parable about the sower and different types of ground, rocky ground, different things. I think the most important thing is even to be asking God to have a heart that is ready to, receive the word of God. Like a heart that is fertile, because a lot of times things of the world is going to choke what you're hearing.
Absolutely.
In fact, it's very, very easy. Then when I was growing up in church, they'll tell you that you out of 7 days in the week, you are only spending. So then it was a kind of like a thing to justify you being in church for a long time. That it's just 1 day in the week that you're here. You don't even come for Wednesday service. So why should you not spend the whole day in church? That kind of thing. Well, actually, as I know they were saying it with ulterior motives, but that's actually something to think about. I was reading something recent. I think it was in one of my Bible plans, or maybe I think it was the verse of the day today, or maybe yesterday. And the person was saying that her identity is different things. She's a mother, she's a sister, she's a this, she's a that.
Oh yeah, it's a Bible plan. It's not Bible plan. It's a
Bible verse of the day.
Yeah, verse of the day.
Yesterday or today. And she was like, but how many, like, if you prioritize it, like, number one, she's a child of God, or she's a daughter of God, but how much time does she spend actually as a child of God, or being a child of God? That she spends more time being a daughter or a mother, or this and this and this. But it also means that we need to prioritize a lot of these things, because it's not easy. It's not the easiest thing, but you have to be very intentional. You have to be very devoted to and committed to doing it. So
yeah. So anyway, that's it. I hope that Auntie Deborah and Brother Lazarus has learned something today.
So what's your daily dose of EO?
My daily dose of EO is also something that we learned in church today, which is the fact that we should be bold. And I think I also saw it during the event. It's like a lot of times we feel like we need to suppress our faith. We need to suppress what we believe in because of everything that's happening. But literally, that is how we breathe. That's how we live. That is who we are. This is our being, and we should not be shy to talk about our faith. We should not be shy to talk about our testimony. We should not be shy to talk about how God has come through for us, because there are a lot of people who need to hear it. So on social media these days, you hear, must you see everything? Most people apparently, these days, even me, sometimes I'm, one of those people that every time you are always coming. But the Bible literally says that we should be overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony. It's like sometimes we just need to say these things. Leading to what I mentioned in the previous episode, is like, see, sometimes you are even sowing a seed by what you see, So don't be shy. Don't be. I spoke to a senior leadership. I think I told you about it. I also told one of my colleagues, I said, go and talk to him. Like, this person was so bold to talk about like how his faith has led him to where he is today. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a food for thought for me, and hopefully somebody is also out there listening to this. Like, don't be shy. Like, profess it. Like, talk about it. Like, a lot of people are not shy to talk about what they
talk about what they like, what they love. So,
by Christ we live, by Jesus we live, by God we have achieved a lot of things, and we thank God for that.
I think I'll also echo what you said in aspects of being bold, but mine is like literally a quote from what one of the speakers at the event said, and he said, don't tell yourself no, right? Allow other people tell you no. And what he meant by that was that don't be so quick to put yourself down. Don't be so quick to say, I can't do this. I don't have the mental intelligence for that, or the physical whatever for that. Or, maybe if you're even in school, like, I don't have a GPA, I don't have a high GPA, whatever. And he says, like, push for it, like, reach for, like, the stars, quote unquote. Reach for the stars and allow other people to tell you, know that you try to do something and they're like, oh, whatever. But at least you're not putting yourself down first before.
Right.
Because the world is not friendly to you. The world is not going to be friendly to you. So if you're not friendly to yourself, like, how do you want to stand a chance?
Yeah.
So I think you need to be bold. You need to take a step. Like, you need to believe in yourself. Believe that God has a plan for you. Believe that God has deposited everything that you need to, succeed in whatever endeavor that you're about to go into, even by His will and by His grace.
Yeah.
And, take that step forward. Don't tell yourself no. God is not. God is saying you can do all things through Christ. So, don't tell yourself no. Let the world tell you no, and God is even going to make ways for you at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Anyway, we have come to the end of this particular episode.
End of our 10th episode.
10th episode.
Oh my God.
Guys, let me echo this again.
Yeah.
If you want to send a shout out to your friend, we start reading by the next episode, by the 11th episode. So if you haven't sent us a DM yet, if you haven't sent us a message, an email, do shout out to your friend, mend relationships, ask somebody out, whatever. But don't be too cheesy than me. So yeah, let's do all of that, and please rate us 5-star. Let's be very but please rate us on it gives us visibility. Follow us on the platform. If you are listening on podcast, Apple Podcast, follow us on Apple Podcast, follow us on Spotify. Share with somebody, and
share with people you love, share with people you hate, share with
let
anybody.
people listen to this.
Share with anybody in your influence. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. We really had fun talking about this.
Yeah.
And see you in the next one.
Bye.